when you start go through separation, if you lock off yourself from a woman.
Oh, shoot.
If you don't, this is a rascal at destruction that will take you away, bend you up and pop you up.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a rumor that's been buzzing online. Supercat's Mistress breaks down and confirms what we suspected. Now, to be clear, this is very much a rumor report, not a confirmed fact. But enough people are talking that it's worth unpacking. We'll go through what people are claiming, why they believe it, how Supercat's life story fits in, and what's driving all the attention now. Stick around. This one's wild. Let's jump in. Who Supercat is. Supercat is one of those artists you hear about from fans who grew up on classic dancehall. His real name is William Anthony Marog, and people know him for a voice that cuts through a beat like it owns the place. He grew up in Kingston in a community that was filled with sound system culture. Music was not a hobby in that area. It was the heartbeat of every block. He spent his early years learning how the music scene worked, from people who had already built their names. That is how he found his footing. He started performing under the name Cat A Rock. People around him noticed that he had something strong going on in his voice. Another DJ gave him the name Wild Apache because he had a raw and fearless stage presence. Fans loved that energy. It made him stand out during a time when dancehall had plenty of rising stars fighting for attention. His breakout came during the 1980s. Songs like Boops turned into hits that spread far past Jamaica. The track was catchy and playful, and it helped him build a reputation for smart lyrics and a style that felt alive. Once people started paying attention to him, they did not stop. He moved to New York during the early 1990s. That move opened new doors. He signed with Columbia Records and released the album Don Dada. That album pushed him into a bigger spotlight. It showed what he could do with a mix of dancehall style and the rising influence of hip-hop in New York. Listeners felt that blend right away. Producers and artists who were deep in the hip-hop scene wanted to work with him. That is how he ended up doing songs with people like Heavy D, the Notorious B.I.G., and Mary J. Blige. These collaborations helped pull dancehall into new spaces and gave Supercat a firm place in music history. People respected him for more than just fun songs. Some of his lyrics tapped into the struggles of everyday life. He talked about poverty and the pressure of trying to move forward when the odds are stacked high. That balance of party tracks and thoughtful messages helped him connect with a wide range of listeners. Over time, he took long breaks from music. Fans joked that he vanished like he was on a long vacation that no one approved of. Then in 2020, he surprised everyone with a new track that showed he still had his edge. The response was strong. Supporters said it felt like he stepped back into the room and reminded everyone that he never lost his talent. Supercat is still seen as a pioneer in dancehall. People call him the Don Dada because he helped shape the direction of the genre. His voice influenced many artists who came after him. Even now, younger performers talk about how much his style impacted their own work. Knowing all of this helps set the stage for why a rumor about him would blow up. When someone with a legacy this strong gets pulled into a story, fans pay attention. That is the energy behind the current situation and why people all over social media have so much to say about this rumored Mistress breakdown. The woman at the center of this story. Now that you know who Supercat is, let us get into the person at the center of this rumor. Online conversations mention a woman who has been linked to him for a while. Her name appears in fan posts, comment threads, and long gossip videos that somehow last an entire hour, even though the story could be told in 5 minutes. We are not treating any of this as fact. This is only a report on what people are saying. Still, she has become a major part of this rumor cycle. Based on the things fans claim, she met Supercat years ago while he was performing in New York. People say she was seen backstage at a few shows. A couple of old photos have been passed around on social media, in which she is standing close to him. These pictures are grainy and look like they were taken on a phone that was powered by stress and hope, but that has not stopped people from circling them, like they came straight from a detective file. Folks love to look at a blurry photo and act like they see crystal clear evidence. If you let them, they will zoom in until the image looks like 4 pixels fighting for survival. Fans claim she was someone Supercat trusted. They say she followed his career closely and stayed in contact with him during his breaks from music. Again, we are dealing with rumor talk, not facts. It is possible that the entire internet took one small piece of information and built a castle out of it. The internet loves to build castles out of sand and then act shocked when the tide comes in. People online say she once spoke about him in a way that hinted at a deeper connection. Nothing she said was bold or dramatic, but the tone in the clips people share suggests she cared about him on a personal level. Supporters of the rumor see this as proof. Others think it is a stretch that could win a gold medal in the mental gymnastics event. Still, this woman has been pulled into a circus she probably did not sign up for. Her social media activity has also been a major talking point. People say she posted emotional quotes, late-night reflections, and hints that she was dealing with complicated feelings. Fans connected those posts to Supercat without any confirmation. That is the pattern with online rumor culture. Someone posts a quote, and the internet reacts like they just cracked a code from an ancient scroll. Despite all the speculation, she has never confirmed any romantic connection with Supercat. She has never claimed she was his partner or his secret love interest. What she has done is post emotional content that viewers decided must point to him. It is the kind of reasoning that starts with one clue and ends with a whole story that sounds final, even though it is built on loose threads. Right now, she is a name that keeps appearing in conversations about this rumor. People say she has been under stress. They say she has been speaking with more emotion lately. They say she hinted at something bigger going on. None of this is proven. It is only what fans believe they saw. She has turned into a key figure in a story that may have started with simple curiosity, but has grown into full gossip mode. How the rumors started. Every rumor has a starting point. Sometimes it comes from a real moment that people misunderstand. Other times, it comes from someone online who is bored and ready to create chaos. In the case of this story about Supercat and the woman tied to him, the rumor did not explode all at once. It started with small pieces that slowly built up. Fans picked up those pieces, and then social media shaped them into something much bigger. Most people point to one early clue. A short clip began to circulate where she was talking about an unnamed man who changed her life. She did not say Supercat. She did not hint at his name. She did not even point in his direction. But viewers decided it had to be him. Once people get an idea in their heads, they hold on like they are gripping the last slice of pizza at a family gathering. Not long after that, someone claimed she appeared backstage at one of his older shows. The clip was low quality and looked like it was recorded on a calculator, but that did not stop people from treating it like crystal clear footage. Comment sections turned into full investigations. People zoomed in on the video, they slowed it down, they paused it frame by frame, and acted like they found real evidence. You would think someone found a secret treasure map. Then a few posts on her social media page sparked new talk. They were emotional messages about trust, loyalty, and dealing with heartbreak. She never named anyone. She never confirmed she was even talking about a partner. Still, people started connecting her posts to the older clip that people thought pointed to Supercat. If the internet finds two dots, it will draw a line between them, even if those dots were never meant to meet. A few fan pages also played a big part. These pages started to write summaries about what they believed was going on. They used dramatic language and created entire timelines that would make you think they had access to personal diaries. Some of the claims were based on real public events, but most were made of guesswork. These fan pages gathered thousands of comments. Once a rumor spreads across fan pages, it grows fast. People see it in one place, then another, then another. After a while, it starts to feel official, even though nothing is confirmed. People also pointed to a photo that showed her standing close to Supercat during his time in New York. It looked like a normal picture where two people stand near each other at a show, but rumor culture has no chill. Folks treated the image like a smoking gun. They said her smile meant something. They said his body language meant something. They said the lighting meant something. At this point, viewers were ready to turn the whole thing into a documentary. What really pushed the rumor into high gear was when she started reacting to comments on her page. She did not confirm anything. She only responded with vague lines like, "I hear you," and "it is complicated." People took these responses and assigned meaning to them. Once that happened, the rumor left the station and picked up speed. Every new comment, every old clip, every grainy picture turned into fuel. So, the rumor did not begin with one giant reveal. It grew step by step into the thing it is today. It started with small hints, then fans added their own ideas, then social media turned it into a whole situation. And that is how the story reached the point where her emotional moment is now being discussed everywhere. What she actually said on camera. This part of the story is where things heated up. The moment people call the breakdown came from a short video she posted during a late-night live stream. It was not a long video, it was not polished. It looked like she turned on her camera to talk, then realized she had more on her mind than she planned. Viewers watched her face shift from calm to emotional, and that is when the rumor really caught fire. She started by talking about trust. She said she invested a lot of her heart in someone who did not treat her feelings with the care she expected. She talked about giving time and attention to a person who did not give the same energy back. Plenty of people can relate to that kind of story. That alone does not point to Supercat, but the internet stayed ready. As she kept talking, her voice cracked. She said she held on to someone who made promises that never came true. She said she waited for clarity and got confusion instead. At this point, her viewers began posting comments asking who she was talking about. She ignored most of those comments, but the silence just made people more curious. People online treat silence like it is a confession, even when it is simply someone trying to stay private. The moment that people keep sharing is when she said she stayed loyal to someone who stayed loyal only when it was convenient for them. That line got clipped, shared, reposted, and passed around like a coupon for free food. Fans took that line and matched it with the old rumors about her connection to Supercat. It did not matter that she never said his name. Once people have a story they like, they will fill in the blanks on their own. She wiped her eyes a few times, took long pauses, and looked like she was debating if she should even keep talking. When people saw her like that, they said it was clear she was in pain. They also said the emotion proved that the man she talked about had to be someone significant. That is where the rumor picked up speed. People decided that Supercat was the only person who made sense in their minds because he was the only one she had been linked to in earlier fan theories. She also mentioned that the man had a strong presence and a powerful voice, which did not help her situation at all. Those details matched Supercat, so people used them as more evidence. Even though those traits could apply to plenty of men, the rumor already had momentum. People wanted to hear what she said through a specific filter. Once a group decides who they think you are talking about, it becomes very hard to move them away from that idea. At the end of the video, she thanked her viewers for listening. She said she felt lighter after speaking. She also said she needed to let go of something that had been weighing her down. That last piece set off a new chain of comments. People said it sounded like a final goodbye to the man she had been tied to emotionally. They said she looked relieved and heartbroken all at once. They said the moment was her confirmation of what everyone suspected. Again, nothing she said confirmed any connection to Supercat. She never named him. She never nodded toward him. She simply talked about her pain. But once the rumor reached a certain point, people decided her words matched the story they wanted to believe. The breakdown. The moment people now call the breakdown did not come from one dramatic scream or a big dramatic scene. It built up slowly. Viewers say she looked tired before she even started talking. Her eyes were puffy. Her voice had that worn-out tone you hear from someone who has been holding in too many feelings for too many days. When she went live, she said she only wanted to clear her mind. What happened next turned into the center of the rumor spreading across the internet. She started by talking about pressure. She said her life felt heavy and that she was tired of pretending everything was fine. She kept looking to the side like she was searching for the right words. Viewers took this as a sign that she had been carrying a secret. People online love to take any small action and make it part of a larger story. If she blinked twice, someone in the comments said it meant she was sending coded messages. After a few minutes, her voice broke. She said she had been loyal to a man who did not respect her feelings. She talked about being patient and believing things would get better. She said she protected someone who never protected her. Fans took those lines and ran with them. They said her tone made it clear she was talking about a famous man. Even though she never said Supercat, some people acted like she walked on camera wearing a name tag with his picture. The moment that got the most attention came when she covered her face with both hands. She did not speak for a long time. You could hear her breathing getting uneven. Viewers filled the chat with comments like, "Are you okay and do not let anyone treat you like that?" She eventually looked up and said she felt used. That word has been repeated all over social media. People turned that single word into a full story about betrayal. Then the tears came. This was the part the internet replayed again and again. She wiped her face with her sleeve and said she put her trust in someone who only came around when they needed comfort. She said she felt like an emotional backup plan. When she said that line, fans lost it. They said the line matched the rumor about her being a quiet part of Supercat's life. Again, none of this is confirmed. She never said his name. She never pointed at him. People did that on their own. Her phone buzzed during the live stream. She looked at the screen and shook her head. That tiny moment created a whole new layer of gossip. People said the message must have come from him. Others said it was probably a friend telling her to log off and drink some water. The internet voted for the dramatic option, of course. Comment sections were ready to treat that phone buzz like it came from a crime scene. Toward the end, she said she felt like she wasted years waiting for a man who kept moving the goalpost. She said she stayed quiet to protect his image. She said she held back details because she knew people would blame her. Every line she said ended up in a clip. Every clip turned into a rumor. People decided her pain confirmed everything they had suspected, even though she never gave a single clear detail. So the breakdown was not one big explosion. It was a slow unraveling of emotions from someone who felt tired, hurt, and unsupported. The internet took those feelings and turned them into a story about Supercat, even though she never confirmed anything at all. What she confirmed. Now comes the part where the rumor fans call the confirmation. Keep in mind, nothing in her statements actually confirms any relationship with Supercat. She never said his name, she never nodded in his direction. She only spoke about her feelings. But the way people online interpreted it turned a personal reflection into what they are calling confirmation. During the live stream and in follow-up posts, she said she had spent a long time investing in someone who did not return the same energy. She mentioned loyalty, patience, and disappointment. She described feeling overlooked and taken for granted. To the casual viewer, these are relatable feelings. To the rumor enthusiasts, they are proof that she was talking about someone famous, specifically someone they already believed was Supercat. Fans connected her statements to earlier hints. Remember the grainy photo, the backstage sightings, and the emotional social media posts? Taken together, the rumor followers decided they lined up. They said her expressions, her pauses, and her choice of words all pointed toward a specific scenario. The reality is, she never pointed to any individual. People added the rest. She also talked about boundaries being crossed, and feeling like she had to hold her peace while someone else got attention. That line, in particular, got clipped into short videos that circulated across social media. Fans watched those clips and said, "Finally, she confirmed it." Again, it was never a confirmation. It was her sharing personal feelings in a public way. The internet chose to interpret them as evidence. Another factor that fans treated as confirmation was how emotional she seemed. People said the tears, the quivering voice, and the long pauses were not just signs of hurt, but signs that she was revealing hidden truths. Emotional delivery is compelling. It makes people want to believe in the story being told, even if there is no factual backing. Comment threads exploded. Users shared their own interpretations of what she said, pairing it with old gossip, fan theories, and speculation about her connection to Supercat. Each new clip, post, and reaction built the story. Viewers took snippets, combined them, and said, "This is it. This is the truth." In reality, all we have is her sharing feelings without naming names. The rumor culture around this situation also played a role in how her statements were framed as confirmation. Social media thrives on patterns. Once a story gains momentum, small actions get magnified. A look, a pause, or even a single word like used can be treated like a confession. Fans decide what counts as confirmation, not the person speaking. In the end, what people call confirmation is really a mix of interpretation and imagination. She expressed emotions and described experiences. Rumor followers interpreted them as pointing to Supercat. That is how online culture works. Emotion plus speculation equals what some now call confirmation. Whether or not it is accurate is a different story entirely. Reactions from fans and the public. Once her video clips and posts started circulating, reactions exploded. Social media users, fan pages, and gossip channels all had opinions. Some were sympathetic, saying they could relate to her emotions. Others were curious, trying to figure out if Supercat was really the person she hinted at. Almost immediately, comment sections turned into discussion forums, speculation zones, and places where people acted like amateur detectives. Fans were quick to dissect every word she said. A simple pause in her speech could spark pages of comments. People wrote theories about what she meant when she mentioned loyalty, patience, or feeling overlooked. They connected her emotional expressions to earlier rumors, pictures, and clips. For some, this was proof. For others, it was a fun puzzle. Either way, everyone had something to say. The rumor gained attention not just from everyday fans. Some social media influencers and pages specializing in celebrity news jumped on it. They shared clips, added their own commentary, and asked followers to weigh in. Each repost amplified the story. It went from a handful of posts to thousands in a matter of hours. Fans began tagging friends, asking if they had seen it. It became the kind of viral topic that makes you check your phone every 5 minutes just to see the latest theory. Some reactions leaned toward humor. People made memes from screenshots of her live stream, exaggerated pauses and facial expressions. Those memes kept the story alive while adding a lighter layer. Fans laughed at the exaggerated drama while still keeping the conversation alive. This mix of serious speculation and humor is exactly how online celebrity rumors thrive. Everyone wants to feel like they are in the know, but also entertained. Some reactions took a more analytical tone. Users discussed how the emotional content aligned with Supercat's public life. They tried to piece together a timeline based on performances, social appearances, and social media activity. Even though none of it was confirmed, fans acted like they were investigators with a case that spanned decades. The energy of collective speculation made the story feel larger than life. Celebrity gossip blogs and YouTube channels also contributed. They compiled the clips, added commentary, and posed questions like, "Could this finally be the truth?" Or, "What does this mean for Supercat?" That coverage further legitimized the rumor in the eyes of fans, even though nothing was actually verified. It is a common pattern. Once an influencer or a media outlet mentions a rumor, it becomes a topic everyone feels they have to discuss. Finally, the public conversation even extended to other celebrities. People speculated on whether any friends of Supercat might comment or if anyone connected to him would respond. That speculation alone kept the story alive. The rumor was no longer just about her. It was about the reactions it created, the discussion it sparked, and the way it showed how quickly fan culture can take a single moment and turn it into a viral topic. In short, the fan and public reactions turned a personal, emotional moment into a social media phenomenon. Commenters, influencers, meme creators, and analysts all contributed to the story. Everyone had a stake in interpreting her feelings, which made the rumor spread faster than most real news could. And that is how a private moment became public conversation. The bigger picture. After seeing how the rumor unfolded, it is worth stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. This story is not just about one emotional video or one fan theory. It shows how celebrity culture, social media, and human curiosity combine to turn small moments into viral spectacles. People want connection, entertainment, and a bit of drama, and this situation provided all three. The woman's emotional posts became a lens for fan interpretation. Social media users filled in blanks with their own assumptions. That is a common pattern in online culture. A minor detail gets noticed. Someone links it to something else, and suddenly a theory emerges. If she mentioned trust or disappointment, the internet matched it to previous rumors about Supercat. If she paused at the right time, fans said it confirmed everything. One could almost set a clock by how fast people jump to conclusions. Another aspect is the desire for storytelling. Fans like a narrative that has mystery, heartbreak, and a famous figure at the center. The story about a rumored mistress hitting an emotional breaking point is compelling. People want to believe they are part of the inside scoop. When multiple sources, even if just fan posts and clips, align, it becomes a story that feels credible. The more dramatic the presentation, the faster it spreads. Rumors like this also highlight how emotions are contagious online. Viewers shared empathy, outrage, curiosity, and humor all at once. Comment threads became stages for people to act like detectives, therapists, and comedians in the same thread. A single emotional post from someone sharing their personal feelings can trigger responses from thousands of people who may never meet each other. That creates a collective experience, a moment where fans feel engaged in something bigger than themselves. It also shows how quickly an unconfirmed story can dominate conversation. In hours, clips and posts were circulating worldwide. People were tagging friends, making memes, and theorizing about timelines. Every new interpretation fueled the rumor. By the time someone asked, "Is there any proof?" the story had already moved to the next stage. That is how the internet handles rumors. It is a race and everyone wants to win. This situation is a reminder that not everything shared online reflects reality. Even passionate fans, clips, and emotional statements cannot replace verified information. Social media is full of speculation, and viral moments often grow from interpretations rather than facts. People must remember that a rumor can be entertaining without being true. Understanding the difference between what is real and what is imagined is crucial when following celebrity stories. Finally, the bigger picture is about human behavior. Fans want drama. They want to feel involved. They want to interpret emotions and connect dots. And when a celebrity like Supercat, someone with decades of influence, gets mentioned even indirectly, it becomes irresistible. Rumor culture is not going away. It only gets faster and more creative. In the end, this story is a mix of emotion, speculation, and viral momentum. Nothing she said confirms anything about Supercat. The real takeaway is how quickly a rumor can spread and how social media amplifies interpretations. That is the bigger picture. And in this case, it makes for a story that is captivating, dramatic, and entertaining to watch unfold. And that wraps up our look at this rumor. Remember, nothing she said confirms any relationship with Supercat. All we have are emotional posts, fan theories, and social media speculation. That is enough for the internet to turn a moment into a viral story, but not enough to call it fact. As always, take rumors with a grain of salt and enjoy them as part of the drama that keeps fans talking. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give us a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more celebrity reports.